hosting the show.
Hello and welcome along to the drum and bass show here on Radio 1, aka Rider Radio, hosted by yours truly, Mr. Grooverider. Before we move forward, we say many thanks to Ali McRae once again for the show known as BBC Introducing, bringing you brand new talent from bands around the UK, Ireland, Scotland and Wales. Big show, 12 till 2 each and every week, right here. But we shut that down at 2. And we throw down some round bass lines. There's some destructive breaks. Sound of drum and bass all the way through to 4 with yours truly, the leaders. So tonight, once again, it's going to be a music show. No mucking about. Shout out everybody for the interviews. We've shut them all down. It's been a lot of requests, don't get me wrong. A lot of talk. Ryder, can I come on? Please, Ryder. I know it's the biggest show, but they all got shut down because it's a music show this week. So tonight we got some new things from comics. Bad tune from Sub-Zero. Going to be playing some original Sin as well. Fred V's going to be featured. Flat T. Yeah, we're going to draw something from Sly. And we're just going to mix it about and, you know, just basically throw it down. It's Rider Radio. And I warn you, some tracks are just not going to be spoken about. You're going to have to look up online, bbc.co.uk/Radio 1. My team are going to make sure that track listing is correct. So if you miss a name, miss a title, miss an artist, just look it up online. bbc.co.uk/Radio 1. Head towards the Ryder and Fabio page. So before this, we had Command Strange with Dynamic. Track's called A Girl Like You. Entered the show with Caliber. Track's called Drowning. From about 3-4 years ago. Just stepped it back a second. And this is Will Miles, and I really don't want to... James, come here for a second. Do me a favour, James. because I've got my image to look after. Can you just say that name, the title, please? Whoop. There you go. It's a bit cheesy for me. I can't say things like that. I've got real issues with them sort of things. It's Rider Radio. on Good Looking Records. That's Will Miles, and there you go. Thank you. Now I've got to say hi to Mr. LTJ Bookham and also MC Conrad. Saw them at the beginning of the year. It was actually the last time I saw Fabio. We were doing a party in Brighton. Spiritual Aura. Got to say hi to my man Moz. It was a wicked party. We went right back to the 80s, late 80s, early 90s, the acid house era. I'm sure Fabio must have been raving about it on his show like a few weeks back. If he wasn't, then more fool him, because it was such a big night. We took it right back to the beginning of the early rave. Some real tunes got drawn out. And I saw Everson Allen out of the Rat Pack. And he was busting the old acid dance. Little acid, hands in the air, little shouting acid. Not like he was, it's not a drug thing, it's just like what we used to say. But yeah, it was old school. Really nice night, so I've got to big up Moz for that one. And I'll be looking out for another taste of that soon.
Fabio, Grooverider, the biggest drum and bass radio show in the world on BBC Radio 1. 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 BBC Radio 1.
Sometimes when you just sit at home and chill out, listen to some of the older tunes, you forget things. Now this is a track I received about 2.5 years ago. It's by a guy called Agent Alvin, and he's actually from New Zealand. I only spun it once on the show, forgot about the track. Listened to it the other day and thought, oh, what a tune. It's called Moonlight Bay. Check this out. If you're into your production, check this out. Definitely on point with the production techniques. That's Agent Alvin out of New Zealand. Now I just got the call that my man DJ SS is in the area. And he's looking to bounce in. And when I say bounce in, I mean to come in on the show. You don't get me. So what do you reckon? Do we get him in or do we leave him outside? James got his hand up and saying yes. I'm not sure, you know. Don't get me wrong, SS is one of my best friends, but I'm not sure about this. It could go off in here. I haven't seen S for about 8 months. So he's in my bad books already. But yeah, we'll see what we can do for S. We'll see. Now earlier on, I was in Nando's and smashing down some chicken, as I do. And looked across, I was looking at some guy and I was looking at his tattoos on his neck. I was like, ooh, that must have hurt. I wasn't really paying attention. I was just looking at the tattoos. I was like, ooh. But I noticed this guy, it's like, looks a bit familiar. And when it's coming out, I realised it was Professor Green. I missed my shot, man. It's the remix, Cameron Crooked, DJ Fresh, hot right now.
noise from Grooverider.
It's Rider Radio, representing drum and bass on the BBC.
Fabio and Grooverider bringing you fresh new talent and cutting edge sounds. Pow! There's no way that the crowd can sit down.
Stop it, rewind, reload, and run again.
from the forthcoming EP from Sub-Zero. Track's called Run and Hide, forthcoming on Real Players. Play that for everybody who came and saw us in South Africa last weekend. Myself, Sub-Zero, Heist, Funk Case, DJ Red, MC Crafty, Jenna G, also my man DJ Heist and MC Felon. Now those guys stayed out there because I done the first part of 2 shows in my show was in Johannesburg. Those guys went on to do a show in Cape Town. And they're not back yet, so I don't know how it turned out. But I've got to say many thanks to Rowan, also Rosie. Absolutely incredible weather, incredible show. It was an open air event and wasn't really expecting it. But the only thing is that we shut down at 2 o'clock and I'm not feeling them early vibes. I was doing that when I was 15. And we don't do after parties at our hotel. That's not how we roll. Oh, do you know what, James? I totally forgot about those Facebook things, yo. We'll do that straight after this. Here's DJ Vapor and a track I played a couple of weeks ago. I premiered a couple of weeks ago. It's called The Devil's Tingle.
From the Rider.
can't see the angles no more, no more, no more.
Grooverider. It's Grooverider on BBC Radio 1. 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 BBC Radio 1.
Right, let's touch some of those Facebook shouts. Got to say hi to Jeremy Tidwell, also Josh Simkin. Saying hello to Joan Hon, Kyle Pollock, Mickey Taylor, Robert Beaton, Damien Bennett, Kay Broadhead, Chris Holmes, Rebecca Gerhardt, and also Emma Dunningham. So that's the Angles remix. It's from DJ Andy and Microb out of Brazil. And for those who don't know, the original is called Angles and it's by DJ Crust, a former Full Cycle hit, given a 2012 respace. Top of the show, we talked about comics, and they've got a few tunes that are going to be coming out on Metalheads real soon. I'm not sure of the exact date. Maybe an album project, but to my knowledge so far, about 8 or 9 tunes I've received, so it's shaping up to be a pretty good album. An untitled track, no idea what this is called. Forthcoming on Heads, Comics.
Exclusive business on the drum and bass show with Fabio and Grooverider.
Deep in the depths of space where no man would dare to venture, there is an energy that will make your mind walk. No living being ever gained the courage to enter this vicinity, as it's been said that the force is withstandable by no living beings. It is believed that should a man take it upon himself to explore these territories, he would experience energies something
some love for the one they call the Hill and Gully Rider, Grooverider. Set it up, boy.
The biggest and heaviest tunes on the road right about now. Little Grooverider, run it!
There is an energy that will make your mind walk. No living being ever gained the courage to enter this vicinity, as it's been said that the horse trade is standable by no living beings. It is believed that should a man take it upon himself to explore these territories, he would experience energies something like this. This.
Grooverider on BBC Radio 1. The only place to be for everything drum and bass, Fabio and Grooverider on BBC Radio 1.
the front. Heading down the hood, you hear wheelies in the front. Heading down the hood, you hear wheelies in the front.
Artist in 2011 established and made a name for himself, stepped up his game. Seems to be doing the same in 2012. He goes by the name of DJ Pleasure. A track due to be released on Low Down Deep. That's called Espanol.
Español.
Of drum and bass on BBC Radio 1.
So before Espanol, we had Original Sin, then a track called Cool Kids, something I've been looking around for a little while. Just didn't know the name of it. Even I miss tracks. Right, we're going to play some DJ Sly.
I know the value of the cold.
And then we're going to go into the show Invasion. That's where Fabio puts his big size 12 in my show for a minute.
The shadows that can blind men to truth.
So that's DJ Sly. Track called Demon Eyes on Higher Stakes. Sly's imprint label. Right, just warming you up for the show Invasion. If you don't know what that is, that's where Fabio takes a tune and flings it in my show, and I have to play it to its entirety. So let's hear what Fabio's offering is this week.
Back up. It's time for Fabio's show Invasion.
Yes, Groove. Yeah, I haven't seen you for ages. I have got to phone you to get these jokes because I've got a couple of jokes for you as well. And I've got a tune for you. This is brand new from Wilkinson. Forthcoming on Ram, a track entitled Pistol Whip. I hope you enjoy it.
Now, I've got a problem with this, Fabio. You said it's brand new, but I played this track about 5 months ago. So you got to get your information straight, son. Or you got to see Andy. Because you're getting these things late. Bad piece of Wilkinson. Track's called Pistol Whip. Fabio's selection for show Invasion. So if you would want to do some research, Fabio, go back to one of my shows 5 months ago and you'll hear that tune being drawn. Now I'm going to play an old tune, but it might be new to Fabio's box. And it's by Basher. One of those ones I just like, you just miss. It's in your box, but just don't get around to it and give it a spin. You think, ooh. Track's called Cosmo.
Fabio and Grooverider bringing you fresh new talent and cutting edge sounds. Pow!
The biggest tracks killing it on the dance floors, chosen by the mighty Grooverider.
A name you may not be familiar with, because I certainly wasn't when I heard it. An artist who goes by the name of Paul St. Jack. And a track entitled Tear Gas. Always bringing the new talent right to radio. Standard things. So we've had the debate, we had the vote, and DJ SS is in. I got voted out 2-1. I was gonna shut this out tonight, shut him out. I can't believe this dude that hasn't seen me in nearly 6 months, ain't come to see me in 6 months. Should be ashamed of yourself, sir. And I have to point out to my crews, like, I've known this guy about 25 years, and today is the first time in 25 years I've ever seen him with a hat. Now, there could be 2 reasons for that. It's either really cold up there in Leicester, or he's got some other weird colour in his hair, and he don't want to show it to me because I'm going to kill him. Because SS is known for a little hair dye here and there now and again. So one more track, we bring him in and we talk to the great DJ SS. On Grid Records is an artist goes by the name of Tight. Just putting together an LP. We actually had him here with Twisted Individual about 4 months ago, telling us about this LP. Here's a forthcoming track, it's called Sandman. That's tight. Tune entitled Sandman. Some more of those Facebook shouts. One from Lupe Ortiz. Says much love for Fabio and Groove from Chi-Town. Another one's from Wayne Moffat, says Wicked Show. Andy Butler says big tunes. Shout to my girl Stacey, enough respect to you guys. Elaine Stavin says she's tuning in from Toronto. Jason Salt says big up from South Florida. Respect guys. That comes from Michael Page. Victoria Benitez Dan says hello from the States. And Lee Blob says put something dark on. I got a black t-shirt on, what do you mean? Because the music's always dark, so I don't know what you're talking about. Mr. Explicit, better known for his material on Dread Recordings, Rave Keith imprint label, and that's called Dangerous Enough. Right, so we've got DJ SS all lined up now. So what's happening, Mr. SS?
Yeah, in the building. It's been a long time, mate.
Tell me about it. Let me give you the correct intro. Now, tonight we have a special guest who is one of the forefathers of drum and bass, I would have said, myself, personally. Has a label that's been at the centre of drum and bass, jungle, breakbeat for how long?
22 years, bro.
22 years. One of the founder labels. The founder himself, DJ SS, is a world-renowned DJ, stroke artist, stroke producer, stroke promoter, stroke label manager, stroke... My gosh, there's so many, so much I could say about US. All good though, all good stuff.
Thank you very much, man. Thank you very much. You know, we go back a long, long time.
Oh my God,
you've know how hard I worked in the game.
See, people don't know that you're responsible for people like Nero, That's Original right. Sin,
John
Sub-Zero,
B.
John B. Twisted Individual. There's so many names that I could just like throw up in the air and say, you know, SS brought them people to the fore. How'd you manage to find so many acts over these years, man? Where'd you dig them up from?
My whole concept about Formation Records was working with new talent and seeing the potential. I always looked at the potential in music, because very rarely now you're getting the finished articles because the standard has gone up 150%, but back in the day it was raw. You know, people, only certain mans had studios, so you have to look at the potential.
And why didn't you sign Nero to a 30-year contract?
No comment. I know. Yeah, I got a big up to them guys, man. I knew from when I first met them guys were on some greater things, man, because they were students from Leicester, and I used to go around their house and he was just playing me some next level music, and it was just, they just had to find their way. And when the dubstep thing got big, that was them, man. But Dan, Joe, they're such great guys. They were just in it. They were just in the music thing, and we used to just hang about in the house and just chill out. But I knew they were destined for great things, man. I got big up, man. They're part of the history, and I've just got to big them up now.
You got to give yourself a bit of a slap on the back for like introducing them to the world at the end of the day.
Yeah, man. You know, it just.
But I'm just like putting it out there so people know the foundation of this stuff.
Yeah, for sure, man. It's a great feeling to see people that you discover get to the highest that they can get to, really. You know what I mean? It means that I'm doing something right, so.
Well, I was quite chuffed for you last year at the Drum and Bass Awards, where you were presented with a Lifetime Achievement Award, which for me was overdue.
Yeah, that was a great feeling, because it means that over longevity things were noticed, and that's what it's all about. It's all right having a one-hit wonders and being around for a few years, but contributing to a scene from day one till now takes a lot of hard work, and it was appreciated last year winning that award, for sure.
So we're going to take you right back to, like, you know, the jungle days, because this tune that we're going to play is like, was one of the classics.
One of the classics.
And it's still a classic.
A reason why I've chose this, it's not on Formation, but this emphasised where we come from. It had that kind of piano, bassy vibe that kind of changed the game for me, really. So.
And this is the time where they're just stepping out of the happy hardcore.
That's right, yeah. It was a change what we decided to think, you know, enough of that. We're going to bring some soul back into this music, you know.
Renegade Snares, Omni Trio. And it's the Foul Play remix. from around about 2002, 2001. That's Omni Trio and the Foul Play remix of Renegade Sneers. And that was on a legendary Moving Shadow label. So, like, you know, you found numerous acts over the years, and somehow you managed to find time to make music as well.
I know.
So what's happening with your projects?
Yeah, I've been working deep on a few different projects, man. I've been working on this Greenlaw thing for the last 5 years, full vocals.
Jesus.
It was a learning curve because it was like making music. It weren't a matter of just programming drums. It was like, you know, recording guitars, recording vocals, recording pianos.
Is that a whole new world to you, was it?
Yeah, well, it was on the level I've done it at. You know what I mean? You used to do, you know, you always get a guitarist in to do a little thing on the thingy, but this was from scratch because the project is a double CD, 18 tracks down tempo, and then 15 tracks drum and bass.
Hold on, that's like 33 tracks or something?
Yeah, but we've probably done 80 mixes. Do you know what I mean? So that's how deep it was, doing different things. Because over 5 years, you've changed things. Yeah, the down-tempo one's done. I need to revamp the drum and bass thing, probably going in about 3 tracks, you know, bring them back up to date, you know what I mean? That's just about done. I've been working on that. But that's full vocals. It's like a production thing, man. So.
And how did you get together with Greenlaw? Because they're not from this country, are they?
No, they're from Canada. I was over there just chilling in a restaurant, eating some food, and I heard this vocalist. I thought it was a CD, background music. So I was like, yeah, this sounds pretty cool. Then I went and I seen them performing live. I was like so blown away how organic it sounds. And from then I thought, if I can combine this with what I'm doing, I'm onto something fresh. Because as you know, I kind of discover new talent, and their talent is on a different level, man. It just needs people to hear it now, definitely.
So what's next with DJ SS?
But I've been in the studio deep, like I say, the Screenlaw thing. I've just finished another project with some Russians called Medicine. That's been going on 3 years, a band.
Yeah, they done I think a few years back, right?
That's right, yeah.
You done a remix for them?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's Tantrum Desire. Rolls.
Right,
yeah, we completed the album. That's done. That should be out on the streets for mid-March. And I've been working a load of my own tunes, but I just want to clear the deck with these projects. So I can just go in, and because the standard now of music, especially drum and bass, is very high. So when I'm coming back on a
same level.
Yeah, I have to come at least the same level groove. You know what I mean, man. So
can't come back embarrass yourself.
No. But the music I'm doing, when it comes to vocals, is a different level, man. I'm talking songs. Okay. It's all right. People do the instrumental and all that. I'm talking about music on a different level, to be honest. You know.
Okay. So like, we're gonna play one of. Something new, is it?
Yes, an artist. Formation? Yeah, it's Cabby, part of the crew. This guy is so underrated on the scene, but he makes some bad club baddies.
Cabby's been around for so long.
And you got to give him his props, man. He's got some tunes.
Yeah, and
he's the next one I'm putting through.
CD out there as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. You know that. You know what I'm saying? So you know me. I bring in the talent, and this guy is going to be big, blown up for 2012-13. Trust.
What's the track called?
The Force.
Exclusive business on the drum and bass show with Fabio and Grooverider.
Go to the Radio 1 website to see the full track listing of the show.
So that's Cabby with The Force. Now Cabby's not new to the game.
Not at all, man. It's been around a minute.
I remember him doing things with DJ Probe, some banging tunes, and on his solo runs. But for me, sometimes he goes a bit quiet.
Yeah, that's right. I think it's just because he's his own artist. When you're making music, you need that little people to do the networking for you, and he does everything himself. That's his problem. Do you know what I'm saying?
He's spreading himself a bit thin.
Yeah, that's what it is. But I'm there now to help him out, to get him to the level he needs to be, really, you know?
So we're just discussing off mic. You've made so many tunes. I don't even know how many.
Ridiculous.
You got any sort of count?
It's got to be in the 800s at least.
800?
Yeah.
You've got to be kidding me.
I'm telling you, mate. Ridiculous. I've got DATs, and I've probably got about 50 unreleased material. That's what I'm starting to go back in on now. Just a load of stuff that I've been working over the last 2 years, and new stuff. But it's finding the time to really just take myself away and just go in the zone.
So we're going to step out of the box for a second and talk about some of the parties that you put on. Now, you've been doing this world of drum and bass thing for
12 years.
12 now. Yeah, see that? Everything's years.
Shh, I'm only 16.
And you've taken that thing. It is what it says on the tin. It's the world of drum and bass. You go all around the world with it, and it's such a brand name, worldwide. So how did you get it to that stage?
Well, what I recognised about, say, 10ish years ago, the music game was being a bit funny. So I thought, really, to be able to continue doing what we want to do on our level, it was to captivate different audiences around the world, and bring, because there was never really any. You go abroad and you might see one or two guys on a lineup, but we wanted to bring the concept worldwide. So we'd go to different places and say, yeah, we want to try and do something where it promotes drum and bass as a whole. Yeah, you go into these countries because there's so many brilliant talents worldwide. That's why when we done the first album, we exposed drum and bass to whole, because you remember that whole 97, 98 drum and bass is dead kind of thing. We done the directory where we exposed drum and bass in places like Estonia, Finland, everywhere where people didn't recognise that drum and bass
something
exists.
Was happening, yeah.
That's right, and that's what boosted things to 11. It gave people confidence to say, we can do what we're doing. Look, then you've got Pendulum, one of the biggest artists from Australia. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've got all these international artists that are recognised on the level that we're on. The UK that was controlling the market now. Now this is a worldwide thing, and that's what I looked at. I thought, realistically, to be able to continue to do something on a level, you've got to bring through all the talents on the equal level that we was on at the time. Do you know what I mean?
You actually, for me, started that whole Miami thing. I mean, we were going out there with heads beforehand, a couple of years before, but it didn't really kick off until the world of drum and bass really got there.
Right.
How did you manage to step into that market? And what I want to know is you go all around the world, and even in the UK, there's so much rivalry and bullying, and you can't do parties here, you can't do parties, but you're stepping into a whole new country. Do you have that problem?
Never really. Because what it is, the whole Miami thing was. I remember going to the conference at the early days and was trying to promote the label, and we was sat in them, them conferences and hearing the bureaucracy, the boring things, and
pure house man.
Yeah. And you used to say who you was, and they'll say, yeah. I said, what music you play? Drum and bass. And I remember a well-known artist saying to me, "What's that?" I just looked around in disgust, and this is when we was in our prime. I just thought, we need to do something. So we linked up with Sarah, we linked up with a few promoters, and thought, we're going to try this full-on drum and bass party in Miami, and everybody said it's not going to work. America's not ready. It's not going to work. And our first party, we had this big, massive club. We got 600 people in there. And then next year, 1,500 people. We have the same problem now where people are telling me our drum and bass in the States is kind of dead. It's kind of like struggling, dead. And we never done the party last year because we struggled for a venue.
Yeah.
This year, we got our venue, a new venue back, and it's just gone mad. People are like, yeah, we're going back to Miami, this party, that party, this party, because theoretically, you know, America's got 52 states, and there's a lot of people that have been representing drum and bass for a long time, and the dubstep thing's got massive, major over there. It's pop music. The rock kids are listening to it.
Yeah.
But we're saying, we're still there. You know what I mean? We're making our statement to say, yeah, we're still there, live and kicking. People will be buzzing again, definitely in the States-wise. We just organised this tour. We're doing 15 cities, you know, representing what we do, Groove. Drum and bass for the heads.
Standard. So, like, I was talking to you off mic about your biggest tune. Tell us about this tune, man.
Basically, with the lighter, the other side was the A side, basically. Nobody knows this. The other side was the A side with the reverse vocal. And I just found that sample and I thought, yeah, that would just switch it up. Then I'm in the studio with a guy I was producing with on the down tempo thing, and he was just messing about. I'm like, yo, play that again. It fitted perfectly to beat. The beauty of music back then, it was you could have a gimmick and it worked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because drum and bass was drum and bass.
Yeah.
It was just bass and drums. You know what I mean? When it dropped, it was all about bass and drums. So that was a musical element, something that people could recognise. You know what I mean? You had that's why back in the day it was all pianos and hands in the air, and you know what I mean. So I thought, let me just give them something on this kind of party vibe that they will remember. That's the problem with music now. There's no anthems no more. Do you know what I mean? People are getting too technical. And drum and bass is getting too poppy. It's like pop music, you know what I mean? It's lost that what it's supposed to be about. So people need to go back to the original organic sound of drum and bass. Samples. You know, once the sample got parked, you heard it, the thing changed. You know what I'm saying?
VST.
Yeah, that's right. Computers.
Anyway, the tune we are talking about is called The Lighter.
You see them doing it wicked for real. Now we're smart. Later.
So you kind of guaranteed to hear that in any old school set nowadays.
That's right.
Well, you have been for the last, when was that, 12 years?
Nah, longer. It's 96, bro. 95.
How long's that then?
17 now. 2012. But I'm only 16 years old.
You're kidding me? It's mad, isn't it? And it doesn't even sound out of date.
That's right. It's just weird. You know what I mean? I play in the thing about when you play old school sets, there's more of a vibe in the parties. I don't know what it is, man. It's you just got that vibe.
It's because we were using samples.
Yeah, man. There's just more vibe, man. There's more vibe. This drum and bass thing, I love it. It's my life, but the vibe's not the same. Nowhere near. You know what I'm saying? It's nowhere near the same.
It's not bad, but it's different.
Yeah.
I'll just say it's different because the music's different. So you just got to go with that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it was a different vibe back then, man.
For sure. You know what I'm saying? You had plenty more girls in the party as well back then, you know?
Wow. Anyway, what's next for SS? So we know you're doing this big tour over in the States. What's going on in the UK? You know, you've got a big party up in February?
That's right. This weekend, the 18th of February, we got 22 years of formation. You, Fabio, we've got Top Buzz. We're mixing it up, you know, going through the years. That's going to be a big dance. That's at the Music Cafe, Leicester. We're just trying to represent in our own city right now. And then the weekend after, we've got World of Drum and Bass, Russia, in Moscow. That party is next level.
How many are you pulling at the moment over there?
5,000 now. The last one was 5,000 people, and this one should be 5,000. We've got an exclusive Noisier. You know, them man are on some next level stuff at the moment, so they've took time out their studio program, producing for JC to come and represent, Cameron Crooked, loads. It's a big lineup. That's a big party in an arena in Moscow.
Okay.
And then the week after that is the Drum and Bass Awards. Got to big up that Majika for that, not to be missed. Big dance. And then week after that we leave for Canada for the Greenlaw album launch in Victoria. That's the 8th.
Are you doing it in Victoria, yeah?
Yeah, that's where they're based. You know that? Yeah, they're based there. Yeah. And then we do it in Vancouver on the 9th, and Cronulla on the 10th, Whistler on the 11th, and then we go Vegas on the 14th, LA on the 15th, New York on the 16th, DC on the 17th, Orlando on the 19th, and then we have the big World of Drum and Bass
in Miami
on the 22nd. That's going to be absolutely blazing. And then on the 23rd, there's Future Sounds of Breaks, and then on the 24th, we're doing Puerto Rico. And then probably doing South America.
See, James is laughing. Like, James is amazed, every single day. It's because he organises it.
I organise it. That's what I'm doing, man.
He's
you know what I'm saying?
James.
4 a.m. in the morning speaking to the Yanks, man. So, dates, trying to organise the artists. So, just keeping it real.
What DJs are going on that tour?
Oh, we got Chrissy Chris Radio on Extra. Bailey's there as well. We got Kenny Ken on a few dates. We got Sub-Zero on a few dates. We got Greenlaw doing a live show on all the dates.
Okay.
We've got my boy Warren G representing, and Tyler's doing a few dates.
Okay, so you're just mixing it up.
Just mixing it up, and then Miami, everybody comes in.
So, like, I've got to say thanks for coming in. You're going to play one more track for us and then leave us. Just tell everybody where they can find you anyway. Yeah. I know you've given them all the dates, but is there a website we can find you at?
Yeah, you can find me at www.formationrecordsuk.com. We've had to change the website because someone stole our name when I was sleeping after 20 years, and I ain't paying them nothing to get it back, so we've had to change the website address. So
what, they put the domain name, yeah?
Yeah.
Right under your nose?
Yeah, right under my nose, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm too busy on this American tour thing, you know what I mean? Fell asleep, woke up, someone's got my website address. Sleeping. But it's a new year, it's a new era, so we're coming with everything's brand new.
So break it down again, the website address is
www.formationrecordsuk.com, and also the World Drum and Bass one got stolen, so it's wodbuk.com.
Alright then, so what track are you going to leave us with tonight?
Yeah, I'm going to leave you with this brand new Makoto remix featuring MC Conrad of Golden Girl, the all-time classic SS remix.
Thanks a lot, S, for coming in, man, and 6-8 months, just don't even start.
No, don't worry, man.
And I'll see you on the 18th.
Yeah, for sure. 18th, Leicester, 22 years of formation.
It's Grooverider on BBC Radio 1. 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 BBC Radio 1.
Exclusive business on the drum and bass show with Fabio and Grooverider.
There's something about you I wanted to tell you, but I don't know how to. You call me to react, and how am I supposed to act when you're around, girl? If you want to, we could choose to. When we do what we do, find ourselves a meaning to get close to. Insecure, not very sure if I'm supposed to. Touch it. I don't know if I really know
DJ SS remix of the MC Conrad and Makoto track Golden Girl. Forthcoming on Good Looking. So I've got to say many thanks to Mr. DJ SS for coming in tonight. One of the true pioneers, true legends of drum and bass, aka jungle, aka breakbeat music. And he must be big if I'm calling him a legend, because I'm the big legend. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I don't actually think about it much. You think about it much, this? No, but seriously, when you really break it down. Anyway, I better calm down or else I won't be able to get my head out of the door. Anyway, getting to that time where we've got to shut down. My man Chris Moores is up at 6:30. Up next is Dev.
Act when you're around, girl, if you want to. We can choose to when we do what we do. Find ourselves a feeling to get close to. Insecure, not really sure if I'm supposed to. Feel you, please you, touch you. I don't know if I really,
Yeah, it was rude to interrupt Conrad when he's in mid-flow like that. So up next is Dev, Chris Moyles at 6:30. Fabio in the chair next week, same time, same spot. And I'm going to leave you with one more. Now, the next track I'm going to play is from a guy who's better known as an MC, but turning his hand to a bit of production, and it's not sounding too bad. I've got to be honest with you. He's out of Bedford. He goes by the name of MC Juice Man. And he's going to be well chuffed that I played one of his tunes on tonight's show. So I'm going to leave you with this. The track's called I Don't, MC Juice Man. I'll be back in a fortnight. Watch out for me in the next Fabio show Invasion. I'm going to smash it. Take care. See you in a fortnight.
Please, Father, have mercy.
God has mercy. I don't.